block today. It's a brand new pattern and yarn kit that I will have available on my website as soon as it's done blocking and photographed. It has these beautiful little jingly bells on the end of it. It's a beautiful rose gold, or it's gold tone, rose gold tone bead that has little crystals inside it that jingle. Can you hear that? So cutie. Anyway, I've got 9 of them spread out along the edge of the shawl. So it has a slight jingle. And today I'm going to show you how to block this beautiful shawl. It is a 2-ball project in Sporty Cakes, which is sport weight bamboo yarn that I sell in center pull balls of 4 color stripes each. So by using 2 Sporty Cakes, each having 4 stripes, you get an 8-stripe shawl with 2 balls of yarn. Beautiful. So now we're going to use a little bit of Rapture, my all-natural delicate wash. It's highly concentrated, no rinse formula. You only need a cap full. So we'll put this in a bowl. We'll add some room temperature water. And we'll give the shawl a little bath. While those fibers are relaxing in the water, I will grab a dry fluffy towel and grab my blocking mats and pins. We won't need the towel to the end, but I've got a nice dry clean towel ready to go. And now I'll set up my mats. Alright, so we're ready to pull the shawl out of the water. And you just want to give it a nice gentle squeeze. Make sure that you don't wring your project when you're squeezing out the excess water, because wringing can actually damage your stitch work. Okay, so now I'm going to take the shawl and wrap it in a dry, clean towel to pull out even more moisture out of the fiber. So we'll roll the towel up. And at this point you can press as hard as you want. Pressing straight down without wringing will not damage the fiber at all. You could even stand on it. I have stood on my towel at this point to try to pull out more moisture out of the fiber. It will not damage it as long as you're not wringing or moving in multiple directions at a time. Oh, cannot wait to see what this shawl looks like when I start blocking it. Okay. Okay, and we are ready for the blocking boards. I have adorable beads evenly spaced along the lower edge of the shawl. Can you hear them? They're not super loud, but just a little bit jingly. It's a rose gold tone bead that's hollow, and there's little crystal beads inside that jingle. So cute. The yarn is available on my website now. It's called Sporty Cakes. It's a sport weight version of Be So Sporty yarn that has 4 colors in a self-striping cake. And by using 2 hanks of it, you get 8 stripes for the whole shawl. You could also do this in 1 color, and you would need just 2 cakes of Be So Sporty yarn. The kit with the beads will be available once the shawl is available, and I cannot make that available till the photos are done. So first we need to block. And how we begin is by finding our center points. This is the center of the top of the shawl, and this is the center of the bottom of the shawl. So we're going to start with those 2 points to pin. And we'll start with the top center. And I'm going to pin out the top edge first. Try to get as much of this on camera as I can as I move to the lower edge, which is the more important part of the blocking process. I will get that on camera for sure. I'm just going to try to get this top edge pinned as straight and evenly as possible. It looks like I'm going to run out of space on my blocking mats, but that's okay. I could always steam the edge or add more mats at a later time. I'm about 6 inches, 8 inches too short on either edge, but it won't matter for this demonstration. It'll just matter for my finished shawl. Okay, so I'm going to now turn this around so that I can work with the lower edge. As you see, the straight edge is pinned out. And now I'm going to be working on the bottom, which is the V and where the lace edging is. And this is really the important part for getting blocked out. This is the harder part. So we're going to start with the very center and just pin right in the center of that scallop. There's a chain 3 space in the middle of each scallop. That's where some of the beads are, and then the ones that don't have beads just have the chain 3 space, and that's where I'll be pinning each one of these scallops. But first, I want to make sure that I'm working in midpoints so that I get everything even across the bottom here. So I think we'll start with the beads. So I'll pull this bead and then pull this bead. And then pull the 2 in between them. Okay, so now I'll work a little further along the edge. And I'm going to continue to work in midpoints. Hi Luann, this is a pattern that will be available on my website later in the week in order to do live videos and make the patterns available. I have to do one thing first than the other, and I can't take beautiful photos of a finished shawl until it's blocked. So this is a preview of a pattern that will be coming out later this week. Once it dries after it's blocked, I will be able to take photos of it and release the pattern. If you sign up for my newsletter, you will be first to know when the pattern is available. Thereafter, I will offer tutorial videos on my YouTube channel as well. Okay, so we started with midpoints where the beads are, and then from there I'm working in between from there. And as you see that things are uneven, you can readjust. I seem to always be fussing with it. The best way to get an even blocking is by starting in the midpoints and then just fussing with it from there. Hi Judy, thank you. I'm really excited about this one. I love the beads, love the way they move, love the way they sound. And I absolutely love the color striping of the shawl. Sometimes I think that color work makes for too busy of a project with lace, but I really like the combination of this particular lace stitch pattern with the stripes. I don't find that they distract each other. I think they complement each other beautifully. Okay, so I've run out of space here with my blocking mat, so I'm going to have to add another mat on that side. But in the meantime, I can come over to the other side and work on this edge until I run out of space as well. I'll just need to add more mats. Okay, so we'll find the next midpoint. Thank you, Daisy. And then we'll work in the center between the midpoints. Each one of these scallops has a chain 3 space in the center, so it's a nice handy spot for blocking each of these scallops evenly. Okay, we'll find another midpoint. All right, I'm going to need to go grab a couple more mats. Well, isn't that the way live works? As soon as I think I know where something is, I can't find it. So I'll have to do that. I won't be able to add the mats during this live video, but I will do it afterwards. Then the next thing I wanted to mention, oh, got another comment. Hi, Susan, that's a great question. You know, blocking is a word that we all use in the industry, but it actually, in my opinion, it really is interchangeable with washing. And if you're making garments that are supposed to be worn by a human being, absolutely you're going to be washing. And if you need to know how a project is going to be affected by water in the laundering process, it is important to block something. Just like if you hand wash a sweater, whether you bought it at the store or made it in person or made it yourself, you're always going to wash by hand and lay flat to dry. Well, sometimes in lace work, when you have a lot of open work, you actually have to stretch it out and recreate the shape of it before you lay it flat to dry. And we call that blocking in the industry, but it really is part of the washing and laundering process of things that are handmade or things that you're making by hand. So if I were washing a cashmere sweater that I bought in the store, I would also hand wash that in Rapture and I would lay it flat to dry. And if I needed to reposition to get the original shape, I would do that before I laid it flat to dry. Which brings me to my next comment, or next tip, and that is to find a great ventilated area to allow this to dry. These mats are not conducive to drying. They're made of foam. So what you'll want to do is make sure you have a highly ventilated area for quick drying. If I were to just leave this here, it might take a couple of days. But if I get it under a ceiling fan or get it in front of an oscillating fan, I have a much better chance of getting it to dry in the same day. So you want to make sure that you get a nice, or even if you can open your windows and you have a great breeze, that's a great way to get things to dry quickly. Okay, I will turn this back around so you can see how beautiful this is looking. So So now I'm going to get this in front of some fans so that it can dry. And once it's dry, I will unpin it and take some photos of it and release the free pattern on my website. Once again, this is, I already have a name for it. It's called Sanibella Shawl, and it's crocheted with 2 center pull balls of Sporty Cakes, which is my 4-color self-striping version of Be So Sporty yarn. So it takes 2 whole balls, which is 650 yards total, and because each ball has 4 colors, this makes for an 8-color striped shawl. The kit will include these beads. You see there are beads on the end. They're rose-colored gold balls with crystals inside that has the slightest little jingle when they move. Very, very cute. If anybody has any questions about washing or blocking your handmade items, by all means leave me a message in the comments. And as soon as this free pattern is available, I will post a link into the recorded broadcast of this video so that you can go and download the free pattern on my website. Thanks for watching today and have a wonderful day. Bye! Please subscribe to my channel for more videos.